Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be going over a strategy that I use for, if you saw my last couple videos, I talked about how to do a weekly strategy. It's probably the strongest with doing it with Forex and futures, which is what I'm going to talk about today. It's a little bit more riskier when you're doing it with options, because options you have contracts, but it still works for options. But you just have to keep in mind that you might have to buy longer contracts. But today I kind of want to go over the same strategy but doing futures, but we're going to look at it on a weekly to see how well this works. And we're going to be using a couple cryptos as an example. Now, if you don't know what futures is, it's basically a way to accumulate more crypto. What I personally use it for is, I focus on the coins that have, a smaller value right now that maybe in time will go up in value. So if the more you have, I've made videos on this before, like XRP, and right now with XRP, you would have to have maybe 200 XRP. You would have to trade about 200 XRP a day to make about $100 a day. I've made videos about that. Today, just going to show you the formula of doing everything on a weekly, and just we'll look at a couple cryptos and see how well this works or not. But the negative of the strategy is you're looking for the pattern on a weekly, so that doesn't happen all the time. And if you don't find it on the weekly, the next one I recommend is doing it on the daily. But the daily is what I'm going to be talking about next week. So let me just show you how to do it on the weekly. Before you start your trades, I look for everything on the weekly to see overall. And this will work in the long run when there's a bull, when the bull run is starting. You'll basically know, when you're looking at it on the weekly, you'll basically know when it's really going to start kicking in. But anyway, let me guys walk you through the formula with doing this with futures on the weekly. Okay, so let's look at a couple cryptos here. We'll look at some smaller price coins, and we'll look at Bitcoin. Okay, so for this scenario, let me just go and kind of walk you guys through the formula again. You go to your EMA settings, and you get the 3S MMA, and you get 5 and 8. You'll need that there. And I usually do, if you go here to your indicators, you go to 3 smooth moving averages. You can do that one. It'll combine 3 moving average into one indicator, which is less clutter on your phone. Or you can just go to moving average, but it'll clog up your phone if you're trading on your phone. I find it helpful. But as a 5 and 8 right here, and what you want to look for, you want to have your RSI here too. And what you want to look for are, when you're doing future trades on the weekly, now, like I said, this doesn't happen all the time. It happens maybe once a month, maybe longer. So this is what you got to keep your eye out for. This is what I look for first before I do trades and before I switch over into the day time frame. I look forward to see if there's any crosses with the RSI on the weekly, and that is a big indication of where it's going to go. So let's just look at a couple examples here with XRP. So we see right here on the weekly that the RSI crossed right here. It crossed right here on, was it May 22nd? So if you came in here on the weekly and did your futures trade right about here, and you rode this out to here, so that would have been a 17% in gains. So basically, if you just follow the RSI, you can follow the RSI all the way till, if the RSI starts curving a little bit, you know that it might start going back down. So that's basically what you got to wait for. But, just doing this just doing 1 to 2 candles is enough to get some pretty good profit, in my opinion. So if you rode this entire candle right here, This would be about, what, 7 days? It's about 7 days, so that's still good profit right there. So let's just look for a couple other examples to show you how well this works. You basically just have to follow that one candle for 7 days, and you'll pretty much you'll make some pretty good profit, because you probably temporarily found the bottom. And right here, you see it happening right here. So you just follow this if you want. You can follow that one. That is, I don't know how many times that is. Let's see. So that's about 7 days. So yeah, that's 7% in profit right there for XRP. Then it happened again right here. It was very brief, but it did happen. So one thing you also want to take note in with this strategy, is something I follow very well, is you could turn off the candles here, and if you're seeing that the RSI and it's crossing on the RSI, but the moving averages are telling you that it's a downtrend. So right here we see uptrend, down up here we see a downtrend. This is not a trade that I would take. They both kind of have to match. So let's just see where this happens again. You see it happening right here. Right here you see the RSI crossing down, and you see the moving averages crossing down. So what I would do in this scenario, so I'd come in right here, and I'd ride this out. This is 14 days, 7 days, so this is a 9% increase. So let's just look a couple other times, and then I want to look at some other cryptos. Right here you see the RSI crossing down, and then you see the moving averages crossing down. So that would be a good entry point. So if you came in right here and you rode that out, you can ride that out as long as you want. But this is a 15% increase if you're doing futures. Let's look at a couple other cryptos. Let's look at Bitcoin to show you how well this would work for Bitcoin. It works the same way, except Bitcoin I think is maybe a little bit more volatile. Okay, so with Bitcoin here, we see it crossing on the RSI right here, but the moving averages is saying up. So this is a trade that I would not take. Let's look at another example here. We have it crossing right here on the RSI, and it's still technically a downtrend, so that's something I probably wouldn't take. Let's look at a couple others. Like I said, this is very volatile. Okay, so right here we see it crossing down and the moving average is down, so this is a good indication for me to do a trade. So I would come in right about here, and I would ride this out as long as I wanted. 7 days worth. Let's just do 30 days. You do 7 to 30 days. Okay, so that is a 30% increase right there if you're doing futures. So this is a good way to increase your crypto bag, is just to follow it on a weekly basis and see if you find any crosses. I'm going to do this a couple more times. Right here on the RSI, you see it crossing down. You see it crossing down right here. And it comes in right about here. So that's about 21%. So anyway, you guys get the general idea. Just do this on a weekly, and if you do it on the weekly, it's not going to be an everyday thing. Just make this, my personal thing is I check this on a daily basis, and I check where it is on the weekly. That's the first thing I do. If you do it on the weekly, which is it's a good technique, because most likely you might have found the bottom, so most likely you'll get into gains no matter what, but it all depends. Just watch the RSI, and you guys can kind of decide when you want to get out. But you can tell right here, RSI crossed right here June 19th, and then it crossed crust right here, and then it was December 5th. So it does not happen a lot. It's not frequent. It's something you want to do in your daily practice so you can see where it is on a weekly basis. But if you want to make profit more frequently, I would do this on the daily, and I'm going to be talking about that next week. Next week, I'm going to be talking about doing this on the daily. But anyway, this is like the only way to kind of grow your crypto bag without actually, buying more, because as time progresses, the price is just going to keep going up. So you could use this method to pick your coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Pick your coins and then just get your gains through watching it on a weekly basis, weekly or daily. Watch it on a frequent basis and find moments when the RSI is crossing. And usually that'll lead into some pretty good gains, and you can add more to your crypto bag because, the price is only going to keep going up on all these coins. So choose your coins wisely, and this is a good strategy to do to accumulate more of of crypto of choice. But anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.